With the recovery of Nancy Guthrie reaching a reward amount of $1 million, officials say reward money can play a key role in bringing people home.
Lucy Ritchie spoke with Eastern Carolina law enforcement officials to learn more. Lucy.
Courtney, Dave, the case of Nancy Guthrie sparks conversation on how incentives can help a missing person case. And when someone goes missing, answers often depend on the people willing to come forward. Officials tell me financial rewards can motivate witnesses to speak up. According to Pitt County officials, in 2025 alone, 519 tips were sent to the sheriff's office, and almost $8,000 have been rewarded for those anonymous messages. Officials say that in Pitt County and cities like Washington, rewards have led to an influx of tips received, some tips being known to have instantly solved a case. According to Pitt County officials, programs like Crime Stoppers will issue a reward if a tip results in the arrest of a person, finding of a missing person, or resolves a major public safety concern. When I asked officials why rewards were important to cases like Guthrie's, it wasn't just to make an arrest.
Whatever it takes, whatever the motivation is that brings someone forward, that's you can't put a price on peace of mind and on the concept of justice. You know, we're working as much, if not more, for the families of those impacted than we are for law enforcement.
Officials say that when it comes to false reports to obtain rewards, false tips can complicate cases and add more time. But investigators would much rather have more than enough tips than one not enough, because it could save someone's life. Reporting from Greenville, Lucy Ritchie, WITN News.
All right, thank you, Lucy. And officials say that even though $1 million won't be available for every major case, smaller amounts can still motivate people to come forward.